Chapter 9. Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beasts. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. She hath sent forth her maidens. She crieth upon the highest places of the city. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, Come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. For she sitteth at the door of her house, on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their way. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, Stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depth of hell. Here we see, again, wisdom is described as a woman. This is to contrast later on in the chapter, a different kind of woman. It says in verse 1, She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. And if there's a question, that's usually what does that mean? Well, the 7 pillars are the 7 supports of wisdom. The 7 things that are necessary in a person's life so that they can feel and be wise. And the first one is that they have to be pure individuals. They have to be doing things for the right reasons. The second pillar is they need to be peaceable. They need to be peacemakers rather than fighters, people who sow discord. Number 3, they need to be gentle. Number 4, they need to be easily entreated, which means they can't be stubborn. Number 5, they need to be full of mercy. They need to be willing to give forgiveness to other people. Number 6, they need to be impartial. They need to be willing to deal with all people as children of our Heavenly Father, of equal importance to themselves. And number 7, they act no hypocrisy. Nothing is done for anything other than the purest of motives. Their word is their bond. They don't try to manipulate anybody. They wouldn't think of it. They can't imagine doing it. So basically, instruction in verse 7 is, He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame. In other words, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. In other words, that wicked man will hold it against you that you rebuked him. Verse 8, Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. You can tell whether or not somebody is a wise man or not by how honestly and sincerely they respond to something you say that is right, that they need to learn or know. Not necessarily that you think they need to learn or to know. They may already know it, as Job knew, but that they really do in fact need to know. It says in verse 9, Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. That's who it is. Verse 10, The fear of the Lord, the respect of the Lord. The fear in the 1400s, 1600s, when this was translated, was really the word respect. The respect of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And then it says, If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. Okay? Then it says in verse 13, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. She sitteth in the door of her house. She sits on a seat in the high places of the city, to call passengers who go right on their way, want them to turn in thither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. In other words, I may be married, but my husband isn't home. Come with me. Our time together will be sweet. The things we do in secret are pleasant. But then it says, but he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. Very good advice.